What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing. I am, of course, your host, Reckless Rex Ruger. That, of course, is the Alexis Arguello puppet. We are back with another amazing episode of Off the Couch Boxing. Y'all know what we do here, the most amazing and real boxing conversations anywhere on planet Earth. Legends, luminaries, world champions, and fighters on the come up. All coming here to chop it up with your boy, Reckless Rex. And today is no different. We got ourselves another great episode, but I'm always a little biased, and I think they're all amazing. And you can go check the Off the Couch Boxing playlist and judge for yourself, because at the time of this recording, there are some 240 plus episodes up there. So there's a lot to sink your teeth into, something for everybody on there. You guys know what we do. If you've been tapped in, thank you for your viewership, and if you're a subscriber, thank you even more so. And of course, huge thank you to my amazing guests who come on here. I'm always blown away by their generosity and their willingness to come on here and chop it up with me. Couldn't do it without them. Before my guest gets in here, let me go into my promotional spiel, if you will. Make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. That's first and foremost. You'll get updates on new episodes when they're dropping, who will be on them, and any other big boxing news. If it's popping off in the fight game, chances are I am all over it and putting it on there for you guys and keeping you tapped in with the biggest boxing news going on, aside from the episodes of Off the Couch Boxing. And of course, if you're here watching this episode right now, you got your eyes feasted on me right now, you're in the right place. Pat yourself on the back, give yourself a big congratulations, and say, God damn, I found the best boxing content on the planet. I'm going to like, I'm going to subscribe, I'm going to hit the notification bell, which you should go and do right now if you haven't already, and stay tapped in. This is where you need to be right here. This is where it all goes down. Join the party, folks. Get on board for some amazing boxing content. And as I said, the proof is in the pudding. Go check all the past episodes. As I said, there are amazing conversations with just some of the most incredible performers in the sport of boxing ever. We've got OGs on there, legends, young guns, rising stars, future world champions. There's something on there literally for everybody, man. I will say that with the utmost confidence. We go international. Fighters from overseas, doesn't matter. If they're willing to come on, we will run them down. If we want them on, we will run them down. So there's no shortage of great content on there. So please go check out past episodes. And of course, definitely tap in and keep marching forward with us, because plenty of great shit still to come. My guest is here right now, so we're going to get into it and chop it up with him. I'm excited. Here we go again. And there he is. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. But better not you're here. But I don't want to screw up the name, man, because on your box rec, it begins with a B. I don't want to say it wrong.
BOUBACAR.
But then I see Aki a lot.
Yeah.
Which is it?
It's BOUBACAR.
Okay.
My real name is BOUBACAR. Aki is just my nickname.
Okay. Fair enough. And so usually I start at the beginning with these interviews. When did you first get a pair of boxing gloves on? How early did you get in the game?
Man, when I first tried on some boxing gloves, probably I was about 9 years old. But I started boxing when I was 13. I actually started boxing. I started boxing at 13. But I always wanted to compete. I always wanted to get into boxing. But my mom ain't really, you know how mothers are.
Oh, man, do I ask a lot of fighters that on here, because it always seems like dads are real gung-ho to get their kids to the boxing gym. But I got to imagine, man, that moms would not be too psyched about their kids getting punched in the face for a living.
Yeah, for sure. My dad was very supportive when he found out I got into boxing, because I was always getting into trouble. And as I got into boxing, I was more disciplined. I stopped getting into trouble in school. So he supported it. My mom did. She just didn't like me doing it. She don't want me doing it to this day.
Yeah. And so, did you grow up in Senegal?
Huh?
In Senegal, did you grow up there?
Yes. No. I was born there.
Okay.
I was born there all the way until I moved here when I was about 5, 6. So I was raised in Cincinnati, but I remember some certain things in Senegal though.
Okay, so would you say that the trouble that you're referring to and getting into the fights, that was more here in Cincinnati?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
More in school.
Yeah, more. Yeah, and so your father just says, "Hey, I'm going to bring you to a boxing gym as like a way for and like an outlet."
Nah, it wasn't like that. It was at school. I was at school, and I was in one of the classes called ACA. That's where you go when you can get in trouble, or
Yeah,
late for class or whatever. So I was in there. I was in there for the whole day. Matter of fact, for the whole week, I had got into some trouble, and one of my friends was talking about boxing and saying that he was going to boxing, and he was going to the boxing gym. So I asked him, I'm like, "Can I get a ride with you to the boxing gym?" And he had said yeah, because he was walking distance. His house wasn't too far from my house and the school. So for about a week and a half, 2 weeks straight, I was going to his house, but I could never catch the ride because it'll be full in the car.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll be disappointed, like, damn, man, like, damn. So one day, probably 2 weeks from doing that, one day the coach pulled up in a truck and I had space. Like I could get in. I got in, went to the boxing gym. I remember first smelling the boxing gym. Like I'm
yeah,
like, damn, this is a boxing gym. Like, so
yeah.
I thought the first thing I'd do is put on some boxing gloves and get in there, that's boxing. But I remember, having to learn the jab line, getting, constantly getting told I'm doing it wrong. So I just remember that's how I got into boxing though, my friend. And I just stuck with it. And I'm the only one from that gym that's still boxing to this day. You know.
And did you have any? And did you look up to anybody in the sport? Like, did you want to emulate anybody? Did you have any boxing like heroes?
Yeah, at first it was from guys from Cincinnati because we big on boxing. So it was guys from Cincinnati. And as I got really more into boxing, like started studying boxing, it was I started liking like guys like Erislandy Lara. Like that was my favorite fighter. So I try to fight like him,
Yeah,
using the ring. I like the Cuban style. And of course, I like the Floyd, but I can't say he was my favorite fighter. James Toney, I like James Toney, Roberto Duran, fighters like that, Tommy Hearns. So yeah, I had some fighters that I like or try to steal something that they do, and I try to do it. But more when I was in the amateur, it was more like Erislandy Lar. I was just boxing, using the ring, using my height.
what about guys that are doing it right now? Yeah, I mean, obviously you're a boxer, but you must also be a fan of the sport. I mean, if you're competing, you'd have to be a fan. Are there guys you enjoy watching right now?
Right now, I say it'll be Terrence Crawford, of course,
Yeah,
stablemate of mine.
yeah.
Terrence Crawford. I like Bam Rodriguez. Uh, I like I like Canelo. I like Arthur Better Beef. You know, I like Jerron Ennis, Erickson Lubin, Charles Conwell. Guys like Duke Reagan. It's a lot of guys that I like watching, that I
And now
enjoy
you
watching.
now you did mention Canelo and Bud in that answer. We are obviously going to see this fight come to fruition now at the end of the year, man.
I got Bud.
Speaking subjectively, man. Yeah, how do you see it shaking out?
I got Bud by decision.
Yeah,
I got Bud by decision. It just the style, his style. He got the style, the
yeah,
competitiveness. The urge, like the hunger, and he's chasing greatness. And I just know he got the style. Like he got a lot of tools in his arsenal for Canelo.
yeah.
So, so I
Yeah, you
really
have to
believe he
respect.
going.
Yeah, you do make a good point. You do got to respect the chasing greatness, though. I mean, that's just something that you don't always see a lot of people do, man. Like you can just tell Bud just cut from a different cloth. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
that's a
because he
big
could.
thing. You know?
He always said he could retire if he wanted. Like he could retire. Like he wanted to retire when he was 33.
Yeah,
But he said he's doing this for his family and his kids. So he's trying to create generational.
yeah,
But
yeah.
he's different. But it's different.
And now let me ask you this, man. Like you had a fight, you had a fight in 2022, and then you had a bit of a layoff up until 2025. For fans that might not know, man, what was the reasoning behind the layoff? If you're at liberty to talk about it.
I'm still going through that. But you know, it was just promotional things.
Yeah,
Situations. and also I wasn't really at last the one in 2022. I, everyone can watch the fight, no one to fight. That kind of discouraged me a lot, you know. And with the situation I had going on, I was in the gym, but I wasn't in the gym constantly and faithful or whatever. So, I
Yeah.
kind of stepped away from boxing, and then it wasn't nothing really happening. So I got back in December.
Hold on a second, man. Your connection's getting. Hold on, man. Your connection's getting a little bad. Maybe move to it. Yeah, maybe move to another spot, or like where you were was good. Yeah. There you go. That's much better. And so was it frustrating for you going through the layoff, man? Like
Yeah, it was
how are
frustrating.
you dealing with it?
It was very frustrating. And then I wanted a tune-up fight. I wanted a tune-up fight because I haven't fought in so long. And basically, I was left with if I don't fight, I'm not fighting. It's the fight that they got for me. So I really thought I could win. I really thought I could win. And then the weight, I really thought I could win. And I felt good during camp. I had my moments where I didn't feel good, but I really went in there believing I could win. I know I could beat the guy.
Yeah.
He's nothing special. It just making the weight and being off that long, kind of really did play into effect.
Yeah, and where do you feel like you are like right now? Because you're 30 years old. Where do you feel like you are right now athletically in terms of your prime? Because you're not a guy with a lot of fights in your belt and a lot of wear and tear. So how do you feel as an athlete at 30 years old? Do you feel like you're in the
I
midst of
don't,
your
I
prime?
don't, I don't feel like I have a lot of wear and tear, and I don't even think I'm in my prime yet. I feel like I'll be in my prime at 32, 33.
Yeah,
you know. And that's another reason why I got back into boxing, because I was just thinking like, damn, I haven't hit my prime yet. I'm not trying to miss my prime years not
right,
boxing, so
right.
so I might as well so get back. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm in my prime yet. I feel like about the next year and a half, 2 years, I'll be in my primes, and then I'm moving up in weight also. So
Okay, so you'll be going from welterweight up to 154.
nah, I was at 140 plus, 4 3, but I'm moving up to 147.
Okay, and what's the reason like for the weight change? You just want to explore opportunities up at 147, or is it
Not
difficult for
that.
you to
It
make
just
the 140?
it's very hard. I thought I could,
Yeah,
I really thought I could make the weight, but it was hard. Like the last 2 nights, I couldn't. I didn't even get 2 hours of sleep because I couldn't.
yeah.
Like I was going through it, like as far as dehydration and not eating and stuff like that. So I was really. It was hard. It was probably the hardest days I done been through. Like as far as making weight, that's probably the hardest I done struggle to make weight.
What do you feel like for people that don't know, man? Like, people would look at your record and they would see 12 wins, 7 of them by way of knockout. Maybe people might label you as heavy-handed, or I don't want to use the term a knockout artist, but how would you label yourself? How would you want people to describe your boxing style?
A good boxer, high IQ, you know, can move it, can do a lot. A boxer puncher, you know, can get aggressive. I can get aggressive if I need to. I just, you know, I can fight away if I need to. So you got to be versatile, especially in the pros. You got to have different ways. So you got to know how to fight inside, mid range,
Yep.
outside. You're gonna have fight brawlers, people that's gonna make you fight, people that can counter punch, that can do it all. So it just depends. But I like to be known as a good boxer with a good IQ, knowing how to adjust.
And,
Even though I don't be as active as I need to be,
right.
I feel like the more active I do, the better I look.
And at 30 years old, man, like, and as I said, without a lot of wear and tear on you, man, what are your goals going forward for the sport? Like when I talk to guys on here, there'll be guys who want to capture gold maybe in a lot of different weight classes, or you get guys like Bud who really want to zero in on a couple and become undisputed at those specific weights. Have you set yourself goals for the sport, and what are those goals?
Honestly, man, my goal in boxing since I was a kid was to be a world champion, man.
Yeah,
I really didn't care for like the Olympics for real. Honestly, I didn't, because I was mainly watching pro boxing, so I always wanted to be a world champion. So that's my goal, man. I don't feel like it's too late. I gotta stay in the gym, stay dedicated, want it, want it real bad, and you know, and have faith, man. I really want it. I really want to be a champion. I really believe I can be a champion.
And so you had the fight in 2025. If you had your way, how many more would you like to get in 2025? We're about at the halfway point of the year right now. Do you think you'll fight again in this year?
I'd like to get two more.
Two, yeah.
Two more. And then next year, hopefully 3 to 4, if God willing.
Yeah.
But I like to get two more this year. And then, I want to be active, man, as much as possible.
Have you given a lot of thought to, and obviously you're 30 years old, you still got plenty of in-ring competing to do. Have you thought about what life after boxing looks like? Do you feel like you'll be one of these guys that will attach yourself to it and keep a foot in the sport? Are you interested in like promoting or coaching and training yourself? Or do you think you'll make a clean break? Are you interested in doing something maybe completely different?
Yeah, I want to keep at it, stay in the boxing. I got the love and passion for it. So I want to be a trainer. But at the same time, before that, I got to make sure I'm set, because
Sure.
I got to make sure I'm financially set, with my family, because there's a lot of sacrifice in the boxing, the travels, coming out of pocket, stuff like that. You got to pay for stuff. Then I want a family, so I got to make sure I'm financially set. I'm well off. I don't have to have the most money. I don't have to have the biggest house. I just want to be set, comfortable with my family.
Right.
Yeah, but I do see myself being a coach in boxing, still being involved in boxing.
Yeah. It does seem like it's a natural segue. It does seem like a lot of guys like to, kind of like stay rooted in the sport. You know what I mean? Like when it's what you've known for a long time, it's an easy kind of segue right into doing other stuff,
Right. Yeah.
Hot topics in the sport right now, man. We saw one last night. Are you a fan of these Jake Paul events? It's a very polarizing topic. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Some people understand that they bring eyes to boxing. Some people like what Jake's doing and how he's moving. What's your opinion personally?
Honestly, at first I didn't respect it or support it, but now I do, man. He taking it serious.
Yeah.
And he is like no other average pro, from fighting MMA guys, cab drivers, fighting guys with no experience. He actually fighting, he's trying to, I can't be mad at him. He's trying, he's taking it serious. He ain't making a joke out of it. So he got my support for sure.
A lot of people question the resume, though, man. Like, do you look at him now? I know he's climbing through the ropes, and that's not something everybody can do. Do you look at him now and say, yeah, Jake Paul's a bona fide fighter?
He a boxer. Yeah, I can give that. I can give that to him. Him beating Julio. Him winning yesterday. That's basically like, he a boxer. You can't say he might not be elite.
Yeah,
but he's a boxer.
Yeah,
and I feel like he gonna get better with time, as long as they just match him right. I mean, I don't expect him to go fight Canelo, but I feel like with time, as they keep matching him up right, I feel like, I won't say with Canelo or the top elites, but I feel like he should fight at least for a title eliminator against somebody.
Yeah.
The way if he keep fighting boxers and looking good, he doing his thing. So he got my support.
And now you did mention being a stablemate of Bud Crawford. Obviously, man, we always hear the saying, man, that weight classes exist for a reason. Obviously, Bud can hold the weight; he has the weight on. Do you think it'll be an issue with how he performs with the extra weight?
No. Honestly, because he naturally supposed to be a big dude. That's what he told me. He naturally supposed to be a big guy, but I feel like he gonna carry the weight right. He always been sparring big guys, bigger guys anyway. So I don't feel like, because Canelo is naturally not the bigger, like Canelo is naturally not a big guy as far as like,
he's not right.
He's not like no David Benavidez.
Right.
That's a natural big guy. Canelo is big. He's bigger. He's big, but he's not no natural big guy. So that's why I said, I really got Bud winning. Now, if Bud go ahead and fight Ja Apataya or whatever, that'll be dangerous.
Yeah.
Benavidez, that'll be you gonna be, so nah. I feel like he gonna do good, man. I got faith in him, man.
How did you deal? Because obviously a lot of boxing is mental. I mean, certainly there's a lot of physical stuff involved, and you got to have physical tools or whatever, man. But in 2022 and 2025, these last two fights you've had, you came up on the short end. How did you deal with that, man, mentally, man? You know what I mean? Like first tasting defeat as a fighter, man. Like what did you go through, man? What was the
First
regrouping
loss,
process like?
the one in 2022 really hurt.
Yeah,
Like it really hurted me for sure. Like I was hurt in the inside, because I knew I won the fight. I knew even though I ain't do enough, but I won the fight clearly. I won the
yeah,
fight, and they took it away from me, and I couldn't sleep on that. I couldn't sleep for real for a few days, and I was really depressed for a few days. I said for a while, and I keep thinking about it. I kept thinking about it and asking questions like, "What did I do wrong?" Asking myself questions. And this last loss, it was mainly on me, man. I was just left on my back was against the wall. I had a lot going on.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody got a lot going on, but I had a lot going on personally. And then with just being off, with just being off that activity, and then making the weight it just played like it just because when I was in there, I seen things, but it was just like my body just gave out on me, man. Like so I was more upset with myself,
What do
with
you
myself.
attribute to one? How about the one in 2025? Did you feel like that one? Maybe you could
That's
attribute
the
to
one I'm talking
the.
about. That's the one I'm
Okay,
talking about.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, I was just left with nothing. It was just basically take this or not. Like I wasn't afraid of nothing. It was just I've been out for a while. I've been out for a while. The activity in the ring is different. I've been in the gym
Right,
training,
right.
getting some good work since January, but it's different in the fight.
Does it make you? Do you feel like though, that you've been able to take the losses and use it as a motivating factor? What has it done, in terms of like your game, right now? Has it been a motivator?
Yeah, it's a motivator for sure. I can't lose no more, man. I can't afford to lose. It really it made me go trying to go harder in the gym.
Yeah,
With my mindset and everything. You know, I'm disappointed in everything, but I just gotta move forward. I can't let that. It's boxing, you know. It's boxing, so everybody's not Floyd,
yeah,
So
right.
I feel like God got other plans for me, So that's what it is with me. So
Do you
it's
like the
God's plan.
influence? Yeah. Do you like the influence of Turkey Allah Sheikh and what he's doing in the boxing world right now? He's another polarizing character. Where like,
Yeah,
yeah, he's
I,
making great. He's making great fights, but I feel like he stepped on some toes the other day, like when he said he doesn't want to see boxers in the ring like run anymore. I think a lot of boxers took that as like, okay, you're trying to tell us how we got to move in the ring and how we got to fight and
right,
what kind of
right.
performances we got to put on.
That right there, I didn't understand that because it's boxing. We're not trying to die. We don't want to
Yeah.
die. You
Right,
know,
right, right.
we,
Sounds like he wants every fight to be like Gaddy Ward, like
yeah, like we don't want to die. And this is a brutal sport. So the game is to hit and not get hit.
yeah,
And you can't tell somebody to. Now Devin Haney was running. He was running in his last fight, but at the same time, it's on the other fighter to know how to stop that.
right. Cut the
You
ring
know,
off, sure.
cut the
Yeah.
ring off and stuff like that. But what Turkey Alex she said as far as that, nah, I really didn't understand that. It just like no, I don't understand it. I don't want
And
to
I do
get hit.
and I do feel like at the press conference though, man, like I feel like some of Bud's comments though, I feel like he did check him on that though a couple times. You know what I mean? Like, you
I
know,
I didn't even get to watch the whole thing.
yeah, he kind of made yeah. Like Bud kind of it was he didn't direct it at Turkey, but you could kind of tell that it was kind of like he made a comment to the effect of like well no one's gonna tell me like what my game plan is gonna be and what kind of fight I'm gonna
Yeah.
fight when I
Oh
go in the
yeah, yeah. I
ring.
seen that. I seen that. I seen that. I
You
seen
know what I
that.
mean? Like
I
I'm gonna
seen
do
that.
it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And if my game plan involves having to move or having to do shit, you know what I mean? Like you do it.
Yeah. And then I heard something about the ring being smaller. Like that's not cool, man.
Smaller and smaller, and then he was going to offer some kind of like a bonus for knockouts too.
See, that's not. I mean, I understand. Like, I feel like he helping boxing as far as the promotion, the paying the fighters some money,
Yeah,
paying them what they worth. But as far as that topic, I don't. No, I don't get. I don't respect that because, like I said, it's a brutal sport. You know, people die. People die every year in a boxing
sure.
ring. You know,
Yeah,
concussions, all of that. So the head is not meant to be hit. So
right.
you wanna, it's basically like you want to see death. You'll enjoy watching. No, that's not it. That's not it.
If
That's not it.
boxing wouldn't have been the path that you would have chosen, man, like what else was in the cards for you, man? Like where would your life have gone, man? Were you interested in other sports or other endeavors, or was
Yeah,
boxing always going to be it?
my first love was soccer.
Yeah.
I wanted to play football, but I had to get my grades wasn't right all
Yeah.
the way. But boxing, I felt like I was meant to box because I always wanted to box since a baby, a little kid. Before I could even know what boxing is, I always wanted to box. I thought it was cool. My granddad was a boxer.
Okay.
My mom's dad, so I always wanted to box. I always felt like, I'd be a boxer in some
Now,
way.
now, as you mentioned, as a stablemate of Bud, I imagine, man, like you've been in the same space as him, you've been working with him or whatever, man. Like, what have you learned from him? Because he does seem like, as you said earlier, a guy with a real high boxing IQ. I feel like if you're in a stable with him, man, you're gonna glean some wisdom and some shit's gonna rub off.
Man, that man great.
Yeah,
Not just saying it because I be around him.
yeah,
That man is great. Like he's an all-time, he a all-time great. Just the work ethic, the tunnel vision,
yep,
like he don't like to lose in nothing. Like, he really don't like to lose in nothing. It can be a card game.
yeah,
It can be tic-tac-toe. He don't like losing in nothing. It's just the drive, man. He got the drive and the will.
yeah,
Even in the gym, like when he train, he train. It's tunnel like I done seen his kids in the gym running around. Man, it just he locked in.
yeah,
He
yeah.
locked in. He don't smoke. He don't drink. He just he different. He that guy different for real.
Now, obviously, there's been a lot made about, like, what I mean, like, we always hear the term GOAT thrown around, the GOAT in this sport, the GOAT in that sport. Obviously, it's always debatable in these sports. Floyd Mayweather was able to walk away from the sport and beat a lot of ex-champions and walk away undefeated. But if Bud pulls this off against Canelo, man, where does it put him in the GOAT conversation?
I got him top three.
Gotta be, right? Yeah,
Top three.
yeah. And so who
And
are
then
the other top two? Who are the other two? Floyd?
yeah, Floyd and Sugar Ray Robinson.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Or if not, top five. But as
Yeah,
far as accomplishments, that'd be great, man. Three-weight undisputed, and then four-weight champion. Hold
yeah,
on, well, because he started at 135,
yeah.
40, 47, 54.
Yep.
That's five-weight. If you go 68
Yeah.
and get a belt and be undisputed, so yeah, that'll put him top three, top five.
It's very hard to bet against him, man. And what really cinched it for me, man, was the Errol Spence fight because, he not only pulled it off, but he really made it look really easy. And he really, he fought the whole fight, as a southpaw. Just really showing off his skills, man. And at that point, I was like, damn, I'd never bet against it. I'd never bet against this guy, ever.
Yeah,
He finds a
yeah.
way. He finds a way.
Find a way. He gonna
Yeah.
find a way. He
Yeah.
he he finds a way. Like I done, even in sparring, it be good. I didn't seen or I done had good rounds with him, but I never seen him get dominated
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
It's boxing. You're gonna have your days, good and bad days. But with him, I never seen him had a bad day.
When you're in
He
the ring
might
sparring with him, man, like when you're in the ring sparring with him, man, what would you say as another fighter is the thing that Bud does the best? He seems to do so many things great, man. But you've actually been in there with him, sharing the ring, man, and sparring with him, man. What would you say is the overriding thing that he does amazing?
his upper body movement,
Yeah,
and his IQ.
Yeah.
Like he know how to fight different styles.
Yeah.
You know, it that's what I say. His strength, his IQ, and his rhythm and movement. For real.
Yeah. Uh, And so I know you talked about the plan eventually, or the goal for you, is wanting to be in a world title fight or in that world title picture, man. Like, what do you think the timeline on that is, man? Like, how many more wins would you need? What would you need to do in order to get yourself, obviously continuing to win? What do you think the timeline is like realistically? 2026, 2027?
Honestly, man, only God knows, man.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm hoping at least 2 years, man. If I
Yeah.
stay active, if I stay active, if I had 2 fights this year and have three to four fights next year, yeah. By end of next year, I could be, or like with my record, I can get that card to fight and be supposedly be a tune-up for somebody and knock them off.
Right. Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so so that could happen. That I could get closer. I could get seen closer doing that next year. That could happen next year or end of
Sure.
this year.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so I
Yeah.
just got to stay ready. But I'm hoping at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Less, hopefully, but I just got to stay active. With more fights, then it'll be better. But if I'm not fighting, it'll be hard.
Is it frustrating? And like, what do you think has prevented you from getting those fights?
Some of it is me. I can't say too much. Some of it is other people.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I say some of it is me. Some of it is other people. Like, just wasn't. Just had some stuff going on.
Some of it's just the business side of things.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. And just the politics that
the
involved in
politics.
boxing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now,
that's it.
obviously, man, we do still see in the sport oftentimes, man, bad judging, bad decisions. It can affect, your career going forward. How much you can make financially. It can really change the trajectory of your career, man. Is it anything that you think about when you're going into fights, like when the scorecards are being read, man? How do you deal with it, man? Because it is still a black cloud hanging over the sport.
It is. I mean, from my first loss, it really changed the way I think of just in a fight. I try to win every round.
Yeah.
I try to win every round. Last fight, I just didn't have it in me. Like my body gave out on me, but but the mindset I got is just treat every round like it's the last round,
Like you
or
got
it's
to
the
have it. Yeah.
yeah. Don't think about 8 rounds. Think of every round, round by round, one round at a time. That's how I be thinking now. At first, I used to be thinking like, all right, I got 8 rounds, I got 6 rounds, I got 8 rounds. I'm gonna win, 2 rounds. I'm gonna win 3 to 4 rounds. Then I might take off a round. Then I'm gonna start. Now I just one round at a time.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's
listen, man.
nice.
I don't want to screw up the name. I see it at the bottom of the screen. Say it once for me, man.
BOUBACAR SYLLA.
BOUBACAR SYLLA. See, man, I think that's how I would have said it, man. But
Or
when I
you
closed the
can call me
interview,
Booby Trap. You
I
can
got
call me. That's my boxing name.
BOUBACAR,
Yeah, you can call me BOUBACAR if you know, or Booby, or Booba, or B.
and you pronounce the last name again, how?
Silla, like syllable, but Silla.
SYLLA. Okay. And so Aki is not the boxing nickname. It's more just a nickname.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
nickname. It's a
Okay.
nickname. Aki.
Well,
My name is BOUBACAR Modi Silla.
okay. Listen, man. First of all, I'm glad we got the chance to do this, man. I appreciate you, man. Sharing your time with me, man. I'm glad we're in touch now, man. Keep in touch, and when you got some fight news or something's popping, dude, you got a platform here, man. Get back on here, and we'll do it
Hey,
again, my
hey,
friend.
hey! I appreciate you giving me the chance, man. For real.
Always.
I know it's been a long time, but I appreciate you, man. I
Uh,
hope to make you. I hope to make you happy with this interview one day, man. When I
yeah,
win that
absolutely.
belt.
Listen, man. I've done over 240 of them, man. So I've got a lot of stuff there. I'll send you the link to the past episodes, man. But I've got a lot there to sink your teeth into, man. But I'm glad I got to run you down and add you to the list, man.
Thank you, man. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you. And if you need other boxers from the city, let me know. Like Duke Reagan. other
Yeah, I've
guys
reached
like,
out to Duke.
you know,
I've reached out to
Keyshawn.
Duke. I've reached out to Duke because I really love him, man. But I know sometimes, man, it's tough as an independent podcaster because I got to go through the same channels. I got to try to find people on social media, man. And sometimes people aren't fucking with the Facebook Messenger as much. It takes them longer to get back to people.
Yeah.
I don't have a Rolodex with everybody. Doesn't give me their personal number. You know what I mean? So it's tough sometimes. Or you're waiting on some.
If you need help, if you need or want to interview certain people, just let me know. Hit me up.
I appreciate that, man. If you could throw me some names, man, yeah, absolutely. I always appreciate that. I've had other boxers extend that to me as well, man. Absolutely, yeah. I would love that, man. I would love that.
We're gonna build your channel up, man.
I appreciate you saying that, man. I know. The frustrating thing is that when you look at the past interviews, a lot of times it's just because so many people are out there now who have a microphone, who have a computer that are podcasting now. So there's a lot of competition, man. But when you look at the episodes that I've had, I feel like the views should be there, but it's just a matter of getting attention. Like I've had Keyshawn on, I've had Shushu Carrington, I've had big names on, you know what I mean? James Toney, you mentioned earlier. I've had a lot of the OGs, a lot of the legends, a lot of the great young fighters. It's just people just tapping into your channel and finding it, you know?
Yeah. And look, I this might not be. I know Steven Nelson would do it.
Yeah.
I get you on with Steven Nelson because he's fighting on the undercard. But the Bud, I can see if he'll do it. If he, I don't think he ever have a problem with it. It just if he has
that would
time.
be huge for me, man. I've actually got a nice moment right here, man. If I can pull it out, man. I got to meet him at the Boxing Hall of Fame, man. I got a nice picture with Bud, and it meant a lot. And I have had BOUBACAR on twice.
Yeah, so if you need it, I can get you on with Steven. Steven will do it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can hit up Steven for you, and then we can see about Bud or have Steven do it for you.
Yeah, that would be great, man. That'd be great, man. And I got your number now, man. So keep in touch, man, and just let me know whoever you can link me with. I would appreciate it, man. Really.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Rexx, for real, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
For even giving me the opportunity, man.
No doubt. No doubt.
I ain't know people. I ain't know you knew me. So
Well, obviously doing this podcast, it behooves me to keep my ear to the pavement. I got to know you. You know what I mean? I have to know people like you. I got to know guys who are working their way up. I just had an interview, man, like with, as much as I like having the OGs on and having the legends on, I get a thrill having guys on that are the future of the sport. Having these guys that are 8-0, 9-0, 12-0, like these are the future Floyd Mayweathers, Right. I love having a guy like Shushu on or Keyshawn or like some of these guys that are really like doing big things and that they're going to be like huge one day, because then you tap in with them and you get a good relationship with them and then they come back on, you know what I mean? Yeah. That means a lot building a good rapport with people,
Yeah, you sure right, man. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it, man. It's a pleasure, man, really. And as soon as I put the episode up, I'll send you the link so you can share it around.
All right, that's cool, man. Just tap in with me. You got my number?
I will. I'll do that, man. Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate talking to you, man.
You have a good day, man.
Yes, sir. You too, brother. Thank you.
Yeah.
There he goes, folks. BOUBACAR SYLLA, my new buddy. Hey, listen, anybody that's going to put me on like with some great interviews, man, and anybody who's even going to flirt with the idea of hooking me up with, greats like Duke Reagan, Steve Nelson, Terrence Crawford, forget about it, man. Listen, I'm eternally grateful for anybody that can throw me a bone and get me linked up with anybody, man. That's really what it's all about, man. It's really just networking this great sport, getting exposure for this great sport, sharing knowledge, sharing these people's backstories, how they got into the sport. You know what we do here. It's all about the free form conversation. It's not the regular cookie cutter questions. Yeah, sure, I throw some of them in, but I really want to get to know these guys, man, what they're into, what they're eating, what they're listening to for music, man, how they're moving through the sport, man, how they're dealing with, the mental aspect of the game, how they got into it, man. You know what I mean? Like, who's helping them, who's part of their team, what their goals are, man, like what they want to do when they get out of the sport. I want to know them as people, man. I think that's what separates us here and what we do, man. You know what I mean? Like we're really like, and I can't say it enough. We're really having the most amazing and real is the key right there. Amazing. Yeah, that's me tooting my own horn, but real conversations, man, really finding out who these cats are, who are competing in this sport that we all love. That's why we're tuning in here, man. Our love of boxing. So that being said, man, thank you, man, to BOUBACAR SYLLA, and I'm going to say his name right, man. Aki. I'll call him Aki, man. He didn't seem too concerned with what I called him, man. Just a great Super affable guy, man. A pleasure to talk to him, man. And can't wait to see how his career is going to unfold, how he's going to bounce back. Seems like he's really dug in, determined, motivated. Unfortunately, coming off a loss in 2022 and then one recently here in 2025. He's going to regroup. He's gonna go back to the drawing board, man. And it's going to turn around for him. I mean, he's in a stablemate, man, with some great fighters, man. Namely, one of the greatest right now, Terrence Bud Crawford. So iron sharpens iron. When you're in a gym, when you're a stablemate, when you're working with greats like that, man, it is going to only elevate your game. I always believe in the iron sharpens iron theory. So huge pleasure talking to him today, man. And seriously, complete gratitude for him joining me today. BOUBACAR SYLLA. And when he gets news on a fight, he's definitely got a platform here. We will have him back on. We're in contact with him now. We will get his updates on when he's going to fight and just get his views on things going on in the fight game like we always do. Pull up some hot topics and chop it up about them. So, again, make sure to like and follow Off the Couch Boxing on Facebook. Stay tapped in there. And, of course, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay tapped in here. This is where you really need to be. Again, go back and explore, as I told him, the playlist. Go check out the past episodes. Go sink your teeth into what's already there. I can't say it enough. There's really something there for everybody. If you like the old-time fighters, if you like the OGs, if you like the legends, there's plenty of them on there. If you're looking to hear from the young, up-and-coming new school of fighters, there's plenty of them on there. So really, I can't say it enough. I think there's something on there that everybody will enjoy. So, and again, that is the proof in the pudding as to why Off the Couch Boxing is the undisputed, undefeated heavyweight champion of boxing podcast. And the good news is you too can be a champion. Rexx, I'm sitting at home watching you. How can I be a champion? Well, it's very simple. Very simple formula. You just got to heed one simple rule, and that is you can be a champion too if you just continue to stay tapped into this podcast, continue to stay tapped in to Off the Couch Boxing, and continue to roll with the champs. Peace.